Alright guys, what's up? Jay here. Quick video on the best controller settings for Dead by Daylight. The reason I came up with these settings is because it is so annoying when you try to heal a down survivor on a pallet and you accidentally throw the pallet. As R1 or RB on Xbox is your healing, vaulting and throwing a pallet button. It's very easy for you to accidentally throw the pallet. It's especially annoying when you throw a god pallet like a shack pallet. So I had to come up with a solution. So let's go to options and then input binding. Now there's only actually two buttons we're going to change. However, before we get into that, let me talk about the way I use my controller real quick. So I play claw. If you don't know what claw is, it's a specific way of using my controller. I use my right index finger to press the buttons. For example, I use it to press X, square, triangle and circle. This means I do not have to take my right thumb off the right analog stick to press those buttons. So the first thing that we're going to change is the actions button, right? We're actually going to change that to R2 or RT on Xbox. We now vault and throw pallets with R2 or RT on Xbox, as the healing button does stay at R1 or RB on Xbox. We no longer accidentally throw pallets when healing. Because those buttons are now different, we no longer have that issue. Now, as you can see, we have the use item, the same button as R2, which means we have to change that. The only convenient button that I could find to change that to was triangle. This can pose one problem if you do not play claw. You are now no longer able to move at the same time while trying to get a flashlight save. That is the only problem with changing to these settings, is if you cannot play claw. Now, picture this, right? A killer picks up a survivor and you're not in a line of sight to get that flashlight save. You run up past them. You get to the side of the killer. The killer's at the part of an animation where if you get a little bit further forward, you can still get that flashlight save. If you can't play claw, you've got to keep your right thumb on the analog stick to look around, which means as soon as you get past that point, you can't press triangle and continue looking at the killer's face. Which means, for the people that can't play claw, what you need to do to get a flashlight save is you need to be stationary in a very specific place. So you need to aim directly at the killer's face, stationary, and then hold triangle to use your flashlight. Whereas because I can still play claw, I can get right up to the side of that killer, hold triangle, while continuing walking in front of where the killer's face is, and still aiming at the same time. That's the biggest downside that you're going to have, is flashlight saves. If you use these controller settings and you can't play claw, that's it. Apart from that, there's honestly no reason to run it. Obviously, it's going to take a while for you to get used to. There's absolutely no way you're going to put these settings on and get used to it straight away, especially if you've got a lot of hours. I have over 2,000 hours and I've been playing with these settings for about 1,000 of them. Obviously, if you're still quite new to the game, it's easier to get used to, but if you've got even say 300 hours, in fact even say 200 hours, 100 hours, you're going to take a while to get used to. It's probably going to take you between 10 and 20 games to get used to. Please do not think you're going to change these settings and you're going to instantly be able to use them, because your brain essentially adapts to a way of playing. The main problem you're going to have is vaulting and throwing pallets. At the end of the day, you're going to have enough time to adjust to using your item and pressing triangle, because it literally tells you to press that button. However, when you're vaulting and throwing pallets, you're always doing it normally in a quick manner, which means you're probably going to run into the window and nothing's going to be happening, because you're going to be spamming R1 or RB on Xbox. Or if you're running past a pallet, you're going to be spamming R1 to throw the pallet, but you're just going to run right past it because nothing's going to happen because that button's now R2. Honestly, I would be insanely surprised if there's any console player out there that knows a better setup than this. I would be insanely surprised. I just don't think it's possible. But honestly, use these settings, see how you get on. Let me know down in the comments below. That would be awesome if any of you guys, if even at least one of you guys picked up this controller settings to see how you do. I guarantee you it will at least stop you from having that one problematic situation within a game. Alright guys, take it easy. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.